Now, in other news this morning, Daniel Khalife has been charged with escaping custody after 4 days on the run from authorities.
The 21-year-old escaped terror suspect had strapped himself underneath a lorry to escape from Wandsworth prison. That was last Wednesday. He's going to appear at Westminster Magistrates today. It all comes as an inmate is stabbed at Wandsworth yesterday. Let's go to Brennan, who's a retired Metropolitan Police officer.
Good morning to you, Norman. Look, this has been an embarrassing few days for the government. And yes, he was found in a relatively quick time. But of course, this shines a light on the fitness, really, doesn't it, of our prisons?
Well, sadly it does, and I'm here representing Protectors, which is a lead independent voice on British policing, and also I look after victims of crime, particularly those affected by homicide, gun and knife crime. But you're absolutely right. I mean, the attacks within prisons we rarely hear about. We've heard about this one because, of course, Wandsworth prison's in the headlines, but there's some 21,000 assaults in prisons every year. Many of them are very serious assaults. I understand that 322 were stabbings, which are a bladed instrument or implement that they've designed and made themselves, because of course knives are pretty difficult to get hold of. And as worrying is there's 7,500 assaults on prison officers. 699 were very serious assaults. That is how dangerous our prisons are, and it's prison officers, just like police officers trying to keep the streets of Britain safe, that have become the Aunt Sallys of the prison service. Many of them are assaulted, and just like policing now, are forced to leave the job because of these assaults. And don't forget who we got in prisons. They're very dangerous people. They're bad people. That's why they've ended up there in the first place. So they're more likely to attack other prisoners and prison officers than many other people on the streets attack the police.
I suppose a lot of people will be thinking, you know, what's the solution to all of this? How do we fix it? I mean, lots of people making the comment that, you know, blocking the door after the horse has bolted doesn't really solve it. Moving these 40 prisoners out of HMP Wandsworth, does that address the issue, or does it create issues in other prisons that are already overcrowded?
I think Norman may have had difficulty picking that up. Are you still there, Norman? No, obviously he is not. Do want to say to you as well, I mean, whether it's Wandsworth prison situation, and the theory is that there are just not enough trained prison officers there to look after. Apparently the prisoners are more experienced than the prison officers with what goes on inside.